हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आज की हमारी डिक्टेशन 90 वर्ड्स पर मिनट की स्पीड से है और ये सेम वही डिक्टेशन है जिसको मैंने पिछली वीडियो में 80 वर्ड्स पे दिया था। इसमें 100 वर्ड्स फ्रेश हैं जो कि लास्ट में दिए जाएंगे, 110 वर्ड्स के आसपास। और मैं आपसे ये कहना चाहूँगा कि अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छी लगे तो इसे लाइक ज़रूर करें और शेयर ज़रूर करें और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें ताकि मुझे भी एक मोटिवेशन मिलता है और नई नई वीडियोस बनाने का। और इसमें लास्ट तक इसे ज़रूर देखा करें। इसमें कई बार कुछ मैं डिफ़िकल्ट वर्ड्स के मीनिंग्स भी डालता हूँ, कभी कभार कुछ नई जनरल नॉलेज की टिप्स भी डालता हूँ, जो कि आपको रिटर्न में एज वेल एज स्किल टेस्ट में भी काम आ सकते हैं। तो इसको प्लीज़ लास्ट तक ज़रूर लिया करें। और कई बार क्या होता है कि स्टूडेंट को फील होता है कि फर्स्ट टाइम ली बहुत गलतियां आई, नहीं लिखा गया। कोई बात नहीं, इसको 2-3 बार रिपीट करें, आपसे ज़रूर लिखा जाएगा। और कोशिश करें कि आपसे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इसको प्रैक्टिस करें ताकि आपके एग्ज़ाम में कोई भी डिक्टेशन आ गई, कोई भी वर्ड आ सकता है, वो आपसे मिस ना हो। तो आइए अब ज़्यादा देर ना करते हुए हम इसे स्टार्ट करते हैं। लेट्स स्टार्ट। मिस्टर डिप्टी स्पीकर सर, रूल 193, I am raising a discussion on the situation in Iraq. I think it is a very welcome thing that our sovereign house, the House of the People, is discussing such an important subject which affects the whole humanity. The 13th Lok Sabha, I understand, had discussed this subject on many occasions. When the question of sending troops to Iraq came up, there was a decision by this House, rather a consensus in this House, that India has no business to do such a thing and that we should uphold the dignity of this country. We are pursuing that policy steadfastly, and we should, at the very outset, I should like to say that nobody in this country normally should think of such things. This subject has got a special significance for countries like India. I think this whole question of Iraq has exercised the minds of Indian people very much. It has touched their hearts because India has a slave country for decades and for centuries. We have undergone a period of time in our history and we have paid so much for the liberation of this country. We fought against the British, who were the mightiest imperialist power at that time. Now, colonialism has gone, and colonialism of that type has gone forever. I do not think that it will return. But imperialism and colonialism of a new type is raising challenges before humanity as a whole and before the third world countries in particular. The main reason why we should be on guard is that after the collapse of the Soviet Union, the socialist countries in Europe, the American rulers or the American imperialists are thinking that they are the masters of the world. Their whole strategy is to evolve a unipolar world where they can be the masters and they can be the only masters. The developments all over the world during the last 10-15 years go to show that the American imperialism is out to capture countries by armed might to invade countries as they like. The invasion of Iraq is one example where you can see that American has gone into country without any rhyme or reason and under false pretext. It is already proved beyond doubt that all the talk about weapons of mass destruction was a hoax. The American rulers cannot justify their action on that basis in their own country. Under such false pretexts, they went into an independent country and a sovereign country, may be a small country, but a proud country, a country of proud people. Can we concede that big countries can go into small countries as they like, that small countries are at the mercy of big countries or such countries with armed might? That is what has happened in Iraq, and the Indian people, as I said, were exercised over this because this is again an advent of colonialism or imperialism in a new form. We have suffered the agony of slavery and we have fought against this. So naturally, we feel sympathy for all such people wherever they are who fight for their freedom and sovereignty. Now, it is not necessary at this point of time to go into all the details of the attack on Iraq by the United States. It is not necessary to go into the details of what happened after that. But one thing is clear, all the calculations of the American president and company have gone wrong. They were saying it is a devil of Saddam Hussein or a demon of Saddam Hussein. He is lording over the poor people, the innocent people of Iraq. We are not here to sit in judgment over Saddam Hussein or whether he was a devil or whether his rule was good or not. It is for the people of Iraq to decide. That is fundamental proposition which every country has to accept in this world. So instead of doing that, the help of the British, their closest ally, the Americans took upon themselves the responsibility of reforming, saving the people of Iraq from the tyranny of Saddam Hussein. That was their pretension. But even after capturing Saddam Hussein, every day we are seeing as to what is happening in that country. Is there any doubt left in the minds of even the American ruling class that the people of Iraq do not feel that they are liberated by America? They do not see Americans as liberators of their country. Every day they are rising in revolt, and of course, you may say that this is terrorism. It is a fashion all over the world to stamp everything as terrorism. A freedom struggle can be stamped as terrorism. The people of Iraq may be blamed by somebody there that exploiting bombs or doing this and that is all terrorism. Blood shed, everything is there. When people fight for sovereignty and freedom, they choose their own path. They choose their own weapons. Who are they to sit in judgment over that? The fact is that the people of Iraq do not see Americans as their liberators. They have foisted a so called government over the people of Iraq. They may say we have transferred the power even before the appointed date. The transfer of power is supposed to have taken place on 30th June, but we have entrusted them with power or government even before 2 or 3 days.